Hey everyone, this is David Brown with the migration update for April 7th, 2022 from the Braddock Bay Hawk Watch. Today was overcast with on and off rain showers and light southeasterly winds, and we actually had a decent flight, especially of northern harriers and falcons, plus some turkey vultures in the afternoon, so a much better day than I expected. Here are two eastern meadowlarks that landed in the grass together in the morning. On the bottom here, we have a red-tailed hawk, and on top we have a bald eagle, both sitting in a tree waiting for the weather to improve. This song sparrow didn't seem to care that the weather was lousy and was singing his heart out all morning. Here was a bit of a surprise. I noticed a black spot in the marsh and took a look, and it was a wild turkey, which we occasionally see at the Hawk Watch, but I think this is the first one I've actually seen just in the middle of the marsh. Here we have a sharp-shinned hawk, and I expected to see more sharpies and coops today because they don't mind flapping and putting some energy in. But really, we only had a couple. I think we had two sharpies and one coop. We had a decent number of American kestrels, including some that stopped and perched in the trees for a while. And we also had a handful of osprey, ones from the local nest and also some migrants. I kept hearing some bird calls that I didn't recognize, and then I finally realized it was the first of the year brown thrasher that was singing. If you're not familiar with brown thrashers, they're in the mimid family, and so they imitate the calls and songs of other birds. And brown thrashers usually repeat each call 2 times, whereas mockingbirds usually repeat a call 5 times or more. So if you ever hear that sequence of each call 2 times, that's usually a brown thrasher. Here we have an immature bald eagle, and there were a handful of eagles around today, including some migrants. Here we have a juvenile red-tailed hawk, so we see the dark patagial bars and the belly band that all red tails show, and we can tell juvenile because no dark trailing edge and no red tail. We had all 3 falcon species today, including this merlin. We are continuing to see small numbers of common loons migrating high overhead, and sometimes not so high. We are starting to see more and more migrating northern flickers as well. We ended up with just over 100 migrating turkey vultures for the day. We saw some come up in the mid-morning time frame and then put back down, with none migrating past. But then in the afternoon, between 3 and 4 p.m., it must have just brightened up enough for the vultures to get some lift, and we had a pretty steady migration for that hour, and then they put down for the day. And the last surprise of the day was a snowy owl just flying around in the middle of the day. Actually, when I first got on it, I assumed it was going to be a short-eared owl, which are a species that we occasionally see. But once I took my photos and checked them, I saw it was a snowy owl. And it was off to the south first, and then I lost track of it, but then I spotted it again flying over the west spit, and then it kind of circled over the bay, and last I saw it was headed down behind the trees over towards the owl woods. So might still be in the area, but definitely a cool sighting. It's one thing to see snowy owls on the ground where they just look like a white lump, but it's another thing to actually be able to watch them fly around and be able to appreciate how large of a bird they actually are. Okay, and if we take a look at the eBird checklist, we see that today we had 63 species. So really a decent day given the pretty lousy weather conditions. And if we check HawkCount for our migrant raptor totals, we had 111 turkey vultures, 5 osprey, 5 bald eagles, 27 northern harriers, 2 sharp-shinned hawks, 1 Cooper's hawk, 1 red-tailed hawk, 11 American kestrels, 1 merlin, and 2 peregrine falcons, for a total of 166 migrants today. Some other non-raptor notes that I want to mention were 350 double-crested cormorants, so cormorant numbers are really starting to increase. 12 great blue herons, 6 Caspian terns, and I also had 20 cedar waxwings, which I hadn't seen for a while. And also 240 common grackles today. This was the most migrating grackles that I've seen in a couple weeks. The only new species for the season today were brown thrasher and wild turkey. If we look at the forecast, tomorrow will be partly cloudy in the morning with a possibility of showers in the afternoon, high in the upper 40s, light westerly winds. And actually, it looks like in the morning, the winds may be more southwest. And if there's some sunshine, we could actually have a pretty decent morning flight, with the migration probably starting somewhere between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. So we'll look forward to hopefully getting some migrants in the morning. We'll see what happens in the afternoon if it clouds over and the winds shift and some showers move in. Might slow down, but hoping for a good morning. For Saturday, we're looking at mostly cloudy with some afternoon showers, high in the mid-40s, and winds west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. So we could still get a decent migration as long as it's not too thick of a cloud cover. But if there's a little bit of sunshine with those winds, I would expect a decent flight of turkey vultures, if nothing else. And for Sunday, cloudy early, then partly cloudy, high in the low 40s. Winds west-northwest and a bit stronger at 15 to 25 miles per hour. But even with those conditions, I would expect probably moderate migration. There should still be turkey vultures moving, especially if there's a little bit of sunshine. So we'll keep an eye on Sunday as we get closer. All right, that's it for today. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And please subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any of these daily updates from the Braddock Bay Hawk Watch. This is David Brown. Thanks for watching.
Good.